same councilwoman who, when I said I met with the controller, was upset that the rest of the council wasn't advised of that meeting. Apparently, meetings are not okay, but telephone calls are, after the council had agreed and reached a consensus as to the, you'll get a chance to speak, believe me. After the council had reached consensus, so now we'll go back to our work session and we'll bring out the alternate resolutions that we had talked about.
Just to make it clear, I didn't make the phone calls.
You had a statement written out, and you said apparently there were some phone calls made.
Correct, made by some other folks.
Wow. Holy shit. Last night they blacked this whole thing out. Now they've blocked out the sound. Wow. This guy is a piece of work, man. This is how Saddam Hussein is coming to power. I can't believe we don't get to hear that. I just waited an hour and a half to fucking hear what she said last night.
To the issue on hand that you were talking about, I was actually approached downstairs by News 12, who was downstairs, and asked about this particular issue, and that's when, personally, I ascertained that there was a lot of misinformation still in the public, and so that's why I abstained this evening.
No, but what does that mean? I'm just a layman. What do 4 abstentions mean?
George, let me explain to you what it means. It means that currently now, with just what you witnessed tonight, is 4 sitting council members knowingly and willingly ignoring the city charter as per our advice from council and the state of the laws of New York. So that's what you witnessed tonight.
As a citizen of Peekskill, are we actively, as of tomorrow, looking for a new city manager?
Well, let me say one thing. According to New York State, the city of Peekskill has a vacancy as a city manager, according to New York State law. So there is no city manager here that sits, even though he's sitting here.
That is not correct.
That is
that true?
And this is the type of misinformation that we're talking
One at a time. Hold on.
Our city manager enters into legal contracts all the time for the city of Peekskill. He is recognized as the city manager. He is the sitting city manager. And that's the type of misinformation that the public gets excited
They
about.
called it the question because the public officers law specifically provides for a vacancy. But I'm sure we'll be getting more memos on that. We'll get more memos on that, and we'll see how much we can push the redundancy of this whole situation.
People of Peekskill tonight have seen how the 4 Democrats have voted. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Arnbeck, I think the people of Peekskill have seen how a certain council comes together and they push for items that they want. So this would have never happened if our, manager or our mayor didn't put certain things in place. You have had
No, this would have never happened if the mayor didn't illegally appoint this man. You weren't on it then.
City managers that did not have the requirements and did not meet the charter.
3 or 5 wrongs don't make a right.
And this would have never come up if our city manager was a rollover and would have done things that were inappropriate.
What's a rollover?
I'm sure you're quite familiar. So this is an example of a lot of people. I was not here, but I've been here since our council has been together, and there's a lot of things that happen that everyone is not aware of.
You voted one party ever since.
You don't know what I voted.
Yeah, I do.
You don't know what I voted.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So I come to you with an issue that has nothing to do with the budget. My name is Angelique Brown. I'm a resident at 807 Main Street, apartment 6H. I'm addressing the meeting of the last meeting that was held here last week. I was not present at the meeting. The devil told me it was a lie to come to this meeting that day because my landlord was here. And I was able to watch the meeting, and I was very disturbed by a few different things. The reason of me coming here tonight is that I have been promised that I was going to get an inspector to come from City Hall to my home. There has been a lot of he say, she say, and everybody else say, but nothing has happened since I left here. Frank, thank you for the 5 bags that you purchased
The
from me.
inspector was there, though. I was told today, because I did an email.
An inspector was not at my home today.
Not today, but he
An
did do an
inspector was
inspection.
never at my home.
Anthony?
You was told that?
That's interesting that she calls the mayor Frank.
We did issue violations to the housing authority.
You did not. I did not receive them, and you did not come to my
It
home.
wasn't to you, it was to the housing authority.
She
No one
calls
ever
the
came
mayor
to my
Frank,
home
and
to
she
prove
fights
that there was
with
any
his own
violations
city
in my home
manager.
of any kind.
What-
The things that were said at this meeting are not true. I have a lot of documents. My mother has never had bed bugs in apartment 3M. She had roaches and mice, but never had bed bugs. I have the health department as a witness. I have the agency of Bethel Home Care as a witness, because just like now, my mother is gone. Last week she died in the infested apartment that I did not want her to die in. With that being said, I'm still living in that apartment with me and my 3 kids. I have got everything set up. I have been talking to APS. Yes, I got an APS case because of this situation. Someone then called APS on me when I left from here. Someone then got the police department to come to my house with APS trying to remove my mother. I don't know whose idea that was. Very rude, not cool. Okay? I will not be
It was
like...
going from the city of Peekskill, I can tell you that.
Well, that's okay, Mayor. But what's not okay is that you sat here and said what you gave me, like as if I was coming up here for a handout.
No, I didn't.
You said in the last meeting that you gave me that you purchased 5 bags. And when I asked you, when I made a phone call to you, you told me the reason why you said it was not for publicity, it was because someone had questioned you about what did you do for me.
Right.
It's not about what you're going to do for me. It's about what you're going to do for anyone. Not me, not just me. It's just so bad that nobody is willing to say all the issues that goes down at Bowman Towers. And yes, we are a community. And yes, it does affect the community because my children goes to school in this community. My children are living in an infested apartment. My children have live bugs crawling on them when they're going to school. My children has to stop at the nurse's station before they go to their class because I want to protect the community, the children, the people that work in the community. Right now, I can have bugs on me right now, and I would infest this whole place. And if somebody wants to be real rude and ignorant, they can file a lawsuit against me because I know that I have live bugs in my apartment, and they're crawling around everywhere. So to say that it's not a community issue or that it's HUD or to pass the buck, as the executive wants to say, it stops here. It does not stop here. I'm standing here alone right now, and I'll probably stand here alone later on. But I will not stop fighting of what I believe in. I believe that is wrong. I believe that the inspector should have came out to my home. Never happened. It never happened. So I would like to know who is it that had a conversation with you, or did you send someone? Because you told me there was nothing that you can do.
Based upon your complaint, when you complained to the building department, based on that complaint, we can issue a violation, and we issue a violation to the housing authority. So we did. We didn't. So you made a complaint, and we issued the violation right now.
I don't have the records. I wasn't told. I wasn't notified. I wasn't emailed. Nothing.
I thought Brent had been speaking to you, so I don't know
Brent
that.
told me that there is nothing as the city hall that you guys can do. That's what he told me in his office, and it's tape recorded. Okay? So I don't know if that's the law. Forget that I disobeyed the law, but I have tape recorded.
We have issued violations. So based on your complaint,
is it in the FOIL? Is it in the records? Because the records that I have, that I received from the city hall, does not say anything about you guys coming to do anything. Now I have to be ignorant to call Frank, to call him all types of liars or all types of things because I'm being. It's miscommunication going on. It's all it is a phone call or a memo. Miss Brown, you have some documents here at the city hall. You have to pay for them or, whatever, something. Why do I have to come here when you guys are talking about something very important? Not to say that I'm not important, because I am every day important to myself. But why is it that I have to use this place as the grounds of coming to speak out, when the only thing that had to happen was someone tell me, yes, there was an inspector? No, there wasn't. No one physically came into my home.
But I understand
An
that.
inspector is supposed to come into your home, correct?
We don't know. Based on your complaint, we can issue a violation, and we issued a violation to the Housing Authority. Now, I can get you a copy of that and where it is in the process, but based on your complaint and your description, a violation was issued.
Okay, I'm still pending eviction. There's nothing that will stop. Because when I go to court, the marshal's going to be knocking on my door sometime this week. May not be tomorrow. I hope not. Because tomorrow's a holiday. I don't celebrate it. But I would not like for the marshal to be knocking on my door on a day that my children are going to be home from school. Because not only that they lost their grandmother, I lost my job, so they lost a lot of finances, they lost clothes, and I am not looking for a handout. I do not want nobody calling me, telling me how they have something for me, because I work. I'm a worker. I do work for a living. Just so happens I came into a situation, a very bad situation, and that I do not have nothing now. I cannot even work. I could work, but if I go out to the seniors' home where I work at, I'm going to be bringing live bugs into their home. That is very unfair. Then I'm putting somebody else at risk. So I can't get welfare. I don't have no child support. These are things, and that's not your problem, but these are things why people are walking around in Peekskill mad. They're angry because they have all these issues going on and they have nobody to talk to. They have nobody to go to. So they get frustrated. They start using drugs. They start fighting people for no reason. They start drinking out in the street, acting crazy because they become frustrated. But me today, I'm not that person. Me today will not, no one will never get me out that character today. And that's why I did not attend the meeting. So with this being said, I appreciate everything. A lot of people have called out to me. It's no funds, it's no money, I get it. I wasn't coming up here for a handout. I was coming up here for help, a scream of help. And it's not just about bed bugs. It's about Christmas lights. Why can't we have Christmas lights? Why can't we have Christmas lights down at Bowman Towers? Why is our park the only park that have gates around it? And is that for the police department to catch the criminals or whatever the case may be? Run! I'm a security guard. I had to run after people from stealing in Macy's or whatever the case may be. Run and do your job, but don't keep our children locked.